Hey everyone, this is Tombatal here, and welcome to the last part of this review, Redemption, where I quickly finish up talking about the changes to the game that adjust the features of the free-to-play part of this game. Let's get started. Number 1, Preferred Status. This is essentially a account change that is enabled whenever you spend money inside the Old Republic cash shop. It activates your account to preferred status, which grants you the following rewards, such as sprinting at level 1. As I discussed earlier in my review, let me reiterate for you. The skill sprinting allows you to increase your character speed to 35%. It's very helpful in getting around the large maps in the game and finishing quests. By starting at level 1, it now makes early game much more enjoyable and lets you progress smoothly into the later stages of the game. Better login queues. Not above the subscribers, but above free-to-play, definitely. It helps you get into the game at a reasonable time, especially if you're playing on heavy US servers and peak hours. 1 bank tab. Having that one more tab, or actually just having a bank in general, allows you to save your items and put them away. You can put your crafting items and such for later, and just a small change makes for a whole lot more enjoyable of an experience. 2 crew skills. One thing I didn't talk about previously in my review were crew skills, in other words your professions. Free-to-play players only have access to one skill, meaning you can't make quality items. You have access to, say, for example, a crafting profession, so you can harvest crystals for your lightsaber, but you can't actually complete it, meaning you can't make a full quality item. Especially in the free-to-play, when you don't get access to as many quest rewards, being able to craft those items is very, very, very helpful. As I said, having another crew skill allows you to start making great leveling items, potions, and you can even sell them on the auction house. Speaking of which, you can now actually use the auction house. Needless to say, it's leagues better than not being able to rely on it. If you're the type to auction well, you can increase your credits really easily and start getting those really nice items later on. Speaking of which, again, your credit cap has been increased to 35,000. This lets you buy more late game, and it somewhat alleviates my disappointment in the legacy system which I discussed earlier, because you can now buy a whole lot more in it. With only the 200,000, there was only just a barely few items that you could use. With 35,000, that now expands the amount of items and features that you can unlock. Really, really nice. There are more features to it, which you can check out on the main site, but these were the ones that I especially wanted to capitalize on, and I think they're the most substantial. They're the features that really make spending even $5 in the cash shop and supporting BioWare truly worth it. Of course, I do have some disappointments with this system. For example, the cash shop items that you can actually get aren't really worth the money compared to the subscription model. $5 compared to $15, and the $15 gives you a whole lot more. For only $5, there's only a few things you can buy, such as short XP boost. So, I would just spend the money for the preferred status if you want more, and if you even need more than that, just subscribe. Considering that you get free cash shop coins each month that you do subscribe, it's really the best choice right now. Also, I know it's just a little bit of a nitpick, but when I see the cash shop, it really, really annoys me. You have to pay to remove your helmet. Are you serious? I understand paying for features and everything, I've got a pretty good grasp on it after talking about it for nearly an hour, but really, was this necessary? Especially mid-game where you have some really ugly helmets and you gotta wear them. It's kind of ridiculous. I feel bad since all the cutscenes, they pretty much all focus on your face, and so you have no choice but to stare at this horrible mask that you have strapped to your character model. It just seems like a really cheap money ploy to me when you could just... Is it really necessary to the game? Do you really have to pay $5 to unlock that for your account? Then again, I feel like that when I think of subscription models in general for MMOs, so, whatever. Number 2, player feedback changes. Since free-to-play was released, BioWare has posted on their forums stating that due to player feedback, they'd be increasing the features in the preferred status. The changes are as follows. Preferred status players will see an increase to their default quick bars from 2 to 4, and preferred status players will be given 4 additional character slots to 6 total. This curves 2 major complaints I had in my review that completely derailed the experience for me late game. Quick bars and the additional character slots will make it more enjoyable to play alts and experience the legacy system, and making it, once again, completely worth it to spend just a little bit of money in the cash shop. For only 2 characters, it's not so much worth it, 6 characters? Yeah, definitely. Now, I could be arrogant and say, that the Tombatal review was a complete inspiration to these changes. It's not at all. The post was made on the 4th and my video was made on the 8th. It's not even close. But regardless, it makes players feel involved. It makes people like me feel involved in the community. And it makes it seem like BioWare cares about the community it has built. It doesn't make them seem like, how did I put it again? Like you're spiting the other people's experience, and makes you seem like assholes. Ah, yes, that was it. So, now we're getting closer to the end of this review. So, I'm going to be starting with my closing statements, my TLDR, if you will. First of all, is Old Republic good? Yes. Yes, it is. Is it a good free-to-play game? Yes. It does things better than a large amount of free-to-play games I could list. Is it a good MMO? Only if you're in it for the casual experience. For story, questing, or occasional group content. If you want more hardcore access to raids or PvP endgame, you're going to need to subscribe or spend lots of money in the cash shop. Can it be better? Of course it can. BioWare is finding ways to make that experience better, hopefully by listening to player feedback more and more. BioWare, you need to find ways to open up endgame content and dungeon content without completely hindering players, and give your paying members more for their money's worth. And while my complaints are still largely intact and justified, I hope these are the small steps to come and that BioWare is serious about making Old Republic a top quality experience. Maybe someday I can do an update video to completely check off all the negative things that were in my dark side video. Anyway, thanks to... what's that say? Jeff Hickman, executive producer. Why does that name sound familiar again?
Welcome to Dark Age of Camelot.
Ah, wait a second. That also reminds me of... oh shit. That is a whole can of rant I'm not going to even open up at this time. Well, this is the end of my review. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope you guys learned a thing or two. What have I learned? Never do an MMORPG for your first review. Takes way too long. Seriously. 5 parts for just one review. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed, and I have a lot more reviews planned, so make sure you subscribe for more. Until next time, this is Tombatal signing out.